Should we trust those people?
I would trust the people who say this.
Okay.
Because it means they're a real one.
You're making some very strong claims here. Good morning, students. My doctor says I'm allowed to stand up again on Wednesday. So, for now, you all just appear much taller to me than I'm used to. So, good for you if you're into that. You know, if you wanted to be short, sorry. If any of you were Hobbit maxing, which I think is a trend that's been going around, yeah. In theory, you completed the hard part of Wordle last night, which is coloring the letters in the grid. And if you didn't do that, I'm going to make this look. You see that? That's kind of like what's going on over there, right? And presumably what's going on over there is, so some of you claim when you talk to me that you take these things called other classes. I don't know about that. I think I don't acknowledge the existence of other classes. Now, it's true I also teach other classes, right? But those don't I don't make excuses, right? I don't come in here and like, oh, you're my third favorite class, right? Okay, so, which you're not. You're my favorite class. Tied for first with every other class. That is the kind of thing I do for my favorite class. I wouldn't do that for my second favorite class. Thank you for the reminder. Always remind me if it looks bad. It's not like I'm going to look at the screen, right? I have to gaze out at all of you lovely people, right? Today, maybe you're working on picking out random words. That can be annoying. Different people had different opinions about how to do random words, like within the teaching staff and so on. So you can do whatever your section leader tells you to do. And presumably you've already seen your section leader. And then probably finish this up over the weekend and don't have it going on Monday. Now, there's one other thing we should talk about, which is Wordle is due here. This is Monday the 29th. Maybe it's easier to see in a grid. You're supposed to have a midterm 1 week from today. Now, my recommendation is to not think about the midterm until Wordle's done. And the reason for that is the way I'm making midterms this term is I'm taking Wordle and I'm changing it a little bit, and that's going to be the midterm. So you're like reviewing for the midterm now. And I have had a lot of fun making these midterms. So you are not required to have fun on the midterms, but yeah, I think it'd be cool if you try. You know, I understand they're midterms. I understand midterms can be stressful. When I was in my 100 level CS class, I remember not sleeping before midterms, and then I don't remember them being that bad after that. But I decided to get really stressed for no reason, right? And I'm going to tell you now something that my CS1 instructor told me, which is that when we make these new midterms, and we don't typically make new midterms every year. It's new that we're doing this because of ChatGPT. So this is a change. We don't really know how hard the midterms are going to be. So if you're taking it and you're like, wow, this is really easy and or really hard, you're probably right. Just don't worry about it. Like, someone somewhere else will figure out a way for like all of you to get an A- or higher, and you just do your best on the midterm. Your job is to learn, and my job is to make sure you get an A. So don't worry about that when we get there. All of that is to motivate the fact that I have finished preparing your midterm, which looks super fun to me. I've shown it to some people in my other classes, and they say it looks okay, so that's a good sign. Don't talk to them and try and cheat. Please. Oh my gosh, that would be so bad for me. It'd be fine for you. And I'm working on making the second version of it, which is the practice. So the way I have made my midterms historically is I take the easiest problem that I think can possibly count as a midterm, and that's the actual midterm. And then I take the second easiest problem that can possibly count as the midterm, and that's the practice. I have the solution for the practice, but I haven't finished the write-up for it. So I will post that sometime this weekend, and your job is to not worry about it ever. but you are allowed to think about it once you have finished Wordle. And so that will be ready for you. If you've already finished Wordle, you should assume you're going to do fine on the midterm and nothing matters. The midterm will be administered in class. If you have a testing accommodation, I have to, because it's like an on a computer midterm, usually the testing center wants like a few more days for me to explain to them how computers work. So just let me know. And we've done this in the past, it should be fine. Your sections next week are on reviewing the content of the midterm, but they're not going to go over the practice midterm I'm going to provide. They're going to go over the pre-ChatGPT practice midterms, because that's what the section leaders took. You should be ready. Don't worry about it. And I want to reiterate, maybe it will be fun, okay? Right? I think we should repeat after me. I bet the midterm will be fun.
I bet the midterm will be fun.
Wow, I'm so impressed that you all came to that conclusion on your own without any coaching. I love coaching witnesses. Wait, am I recording? Okay, dang it. Okay, so those are the things you're probably worried about immediately, right? Today's lecture has nothing to do with either of those two things. Isn't that great? Today's lecture is for like 4 weeks from now when you're doing the next project. I don't know. It made sense to us at the time, and now I'm sitting here today, I'm like, wait. Today I'm teaching PGL, which is next used on this project in October. That's a completely different month. Does anyone even know what month October is? You would think it's the 8th month, right?
No. Well, yeah, you would.
You would think that, right? It's after September, the 7th month, and before November, the 9th month. So someone stole and or gifted 2 months. I don't know. So, but I went over my slides and I tried to make them as relevant to Wordle and the midterm as possible. And basically, the thing that makes sense is that beginning with Wordle, we're asking you to think about rows and columns. And the Portable Graphics Library is asking you to think about vertical and horizontal. So I'm going to try and draw equivalences between those things. There are practice exam posted. So the earlier years of practice exams are posted. So here is what a paper practice exam was in 2023. And if you would pass this exam, you will pass my exam. They are as close as I could make them. So you can look at this. Also, I think it's possible, I was looking at this, these might be 90-minute exams, and you have a 60-minute, because I think it was a 90-minute class that year. The way I set it out is I gave you more stuff than you could finish in 60 minutes, I think, and I made like the last problem extra credit. So you'll see that, and we'll find out if you all finish it or none of you finish it, and nothing matters. Okay. Aside on Wordle, more on graphics, more on functions. Okay, cool. So, if I were to do the Wordle assignment, which in fact I did, I gave it in another class, and in that class we used something called vectors. We did not use strings. There is something very close to vectors in Python, and we're teaching it after we teach graphics, so you don't know about it yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is a way to solve Wordle, but in order to show you a way to solve Wordle, I want to give you a look at some code to think about how I would do this. So I'm going to take this code, which doesn't quite fit that well on this slide, and I'm going to put it in VS Code, and then we're going to run it. So, do I have VS Code open? Perfect, thing.py. Okay. Going to close this window. Who loves VS Code? Do we like VS Code, actually?
It's okay. It's just
It's like-
a bit annoying.
Yeah. I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm imagining we're doing here is I took a plane home last weekend, and I don't allow myself to have screen time, so I stare at a blank screen on the plane, but I look over my blank screen and watch someone watching Casino Royale on the screen in front of it, right?
Yeah.
And as we all know, Casino Royale is the true story of James Bond gambling,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I didn't really follow this. I didn't have sound. But James Bond, I guess, keeps secrets. And so I thought, oh, it would be fun if in this class we could also keep secrets just like James Bond, our role model for possibly being the worst. I didn't know if I was supposed to root for James Bond. He seemed to mostly be beating people up, and I was like, isn't that bad? Okay, but I think it's okay because he's English. My indentation is completely cooked here. Look at that line. What's going on? Crazy. Okay, so I imagine on the Wordle assignment, I think they give you the example of glass and sassy as being two words that you're going to compare. And so I'm imagining I work in, I think it's now actually His Majesty's Secret Service, even though it was Her Majesty's Secret Service when Casino Royale was filmed in like 2003 or whenever that movie came out. And it's a remake of one that's even older than that, right? And so I imagine I'm direct messaging my control agent the text glass. And I need to redact it because I don't want people to think it's sassy. So I'm going to compare the letters in glass and sassy. And how am I going to do that? Well, for I in the range of the length of the word, what am I going to do? I'm going to print I, I'm going to print word I, and I'm going to print secret I. Just to see what I'm looking at here. And so what we see is, I have 0GS, 1LA, 2AS, 3SS. Oh, that's interesting. So in glass and sassy, we have the same index 3 letter, and you might think of that as the fourth letter. You can think of that however you want, but it has index 3. And I need to redact that letter because it is giving away the secret I have, which is that I have an S in that position. So what do I do? Well, if the word I and the secret I are the same, I change word, and how do I change it? I set word equal to all of the letters before the letter that is the same, which is the I position, and then I change the I position to being an asterisk or capital X or a dollar sign or whatever you want, and then I take all of the word after that I. So I go up to I, and then I start after I and go to the end, okay? And then I'm going to say I'm doing a redaction at that point, and then I'm going to return the word. We're not seeing the word we return right now, so that's no problem. I'm going to call it new word. And then I'm going to print out what new word is. I'm going to say it's new word equals, and I print new word. And so, dollar sign was not super helpful there because that looks the same as the S. Anyone have a favorite symbol?
Asterisk.
Asterisks? Okay, fine.
You can do an underscore if you want.
I can do an underscore? Cool. There it is.
It's an at sign.
So now I have successfully redacted the secrets from my word. And this is perhaps most easier to understand when you say, like, my password is flotilla. And then we take something that's like the same length. It's like blah, 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 flotilla. And this is how you can redact your passwords. I'd also redacted all of my spaces, right, because those were the same. So really what I should have done is I should have put something here other than space, like perhaps an octothorpe. Delicious octothorpes. They're named after the month of October. A lot of people don't know that. And so there you go. I've successfully redacted my password, which is either flotilla or flotia. I don't actually know how to say that word, and I don't know why I was thinking of it. Oh, yes, I do, and I'm not allowed to say it in class. Okay, so there we go. If you look up the news and see that word, that's not where I saw it. Okay, so this is how we keep secrets. In the words of Gandalf the Grey, keep it secret, keep it safe. Right? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have word and secret set to something? Or what's going on?
Word and secret.
Yeah, like
This is word.
Oh, okay.
This is secret.
Got it. Learning.
So, this is, okay, let's get a little crazy, right? We like getting crazy.
Yeah.
I'm using this as a function. I don't have to do that. I can take this same code, and I can take it outside of a function. Okay? How do I do, is it Alt-Shift?
Control. Shift Alt.
I don't know what I did, but it worked. We have word, secret. Okay, these things are being referred to. No problem. I'm going to say word equals, why is that capital? Oh, I hit caps lock. Secret, no, stop. Okay. Equals blah, 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 flotilla. Okay. And then down here, I'm going to print before, just to let me know it's before. Then I'm going to print word, and then I'm going to print secret. And then I'm going to do an after. After. I'm going to hit the trash can because it says invalid syntax. So, the content of this function is the same as if I took the things that I took the variables for. So, I replace word with my class word is flotilla, and I replace secret with blah, 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 flotilla. And that is identical to taking the same contents of the inside of the function and running it outside of the function. This is control flow. This is the thing we've been trying to teach. This is why we do Carol, and this is also the subject of the debug lecture. I can play around with this and show examples. Does this answer your question? When we call a function, these variables, included in parentheses after the name of the function, are replaced by whatever we write there. Redact, word, secret. So this replaces that, this replaces that, this replaces that, and so on.
Okay.
In the ancient times, in ancient history, they required people to take algebra before doing computer science for this reason. But I don't really think they teach you to think about words in algebra, so it's just kind of fundamentally different. What were we doing? Print, redact, word, secret. There it is. Okay. And we have many redactions, right? Okay. Sometimes just having the same letter is not enough, right? Because what if, and here's a terrible example, what if instead of saying blah, 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 you forget to say the third octothorpe, and you have an exclamation point at the end, so your strings are the same length? Oh no! You can see almost the entire password. That's terrible. So maybe what we should do is we should check to see if any of the letters in the secret are present in the word. And so one way we can do that is we have censor letter. So what did I call this? Redact. I'm getting the thing at the same position. I had to come up with names for this. I don't know. Right. So we're going to remove the first case of the letter in word. Okay. So how am I going to do that? Well, we're going to call this censor. And I think we can all agree that censorship is good. Letter, word. And so what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to take a look at the word, and I'm going to say for I in range length word. I'm tired of typing. If word I equals letter, well, then word should be equal to word up to I, so the beginning of the word, until we get to the letter that's the same, plus, and I'm going to redact with something else, which is, I don't know. What do you think about question marks? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mysterious.
And then I'm going to take, am I going to start at I? No, because this would begin at the thing that I'm trying to keep secret. So I'm going to add 1 to this. Well, we'll see what happens if we don't do that first. Okay, do you see that? I pressed tab and it went all the way over here this time. VS Code is trying to bamboozle me. I can tell when I'm being bamboozled. Why is it doing that? This is so cringe.
How would it know what letter? What is...
How will it know what letter is? No, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
How does it know what letter it is? Or like how
How are you going to tell it? How does it know what word is?
Okay. Get it.
Let's see, we're going to censor what? We're going to censor, let's take the F out of word. There's an indentation error? That's crazy. Oh, yeah, right here.
So you have to go through for every letter?
Wait. Yes, you would have to do this for every letter. And this doesn't work, right? It just puts in a bunch of question marks, right? So, if word I equals letter... Oh, I'm supposed to return this. Return. There we go, okay. And what's happening here? Okay, so, for I in range length word, so I'm stepping through word. My blank password is flotilla, right? If word I equals letter, so this is word I. It was found to be equal to letter, so I put a question mark there. And then I put the rest of the word. I want to redact that, so I actually need to start 1 letter later, and it gets rid of flotilla. And why did we call this censor letter? Because it does 1 letter at a time. What we actually probably want to do is we want to censor the word. So we're going to take, I think we called it word and secret. We can call this, word and secret. And so we want to say for I in, no, we don't want to do that. For letter in secret, word equals censor letter word. And I'm going to change this to word and secret. And I might have my words and secrets backwards here, but I'm just going to check it and see what the code does. None type has no length.
Because now it doesn't know what letter it is.
So, what line is that error in? It is in, okay. Look, I'm gonna embiggenify this. Okay. Word equals censor letter word, range len word. What's happening? Well, if I don't see the letter in word, I don't think I'm returning anything here. So, what do I need to do? I'm going to print word after this returns. I'm going to print letter, and I'm going to print word. Okay. What is happening here? Ooh, I'm going to get rid of some of the other things I'm doing as well to remove clutter. So I'm getting rid of redact. Okay. And so what's going on? I start reading my words, and as soon as I try and redact a B out of word, nothing happens. And how do we say this? Print attempting to censor letter from word. Let me say, I think I'm censoring it from the word. Yeah.
I have another question.
Okay.
For censor now, how does it know what letter it is?
Where is letter assigned in censor?
In censor letter.
Is it? So I'm referring to it here,
Okay.
but where is it defined?
I don't know.
What does this line do?
Okay, it's just a sign. Okay.
So this is the same as it's the same as a range. We always I think of these as much closer to pronouns than I think of them as variables. And so when I'm speaking in English, there's an antecedent. So I'm like, I don't know, Salem is my favorite city. It has a great downtown shopping district. I don't know, I'm not sponsored, right? But if I just said, it has a great downtown shopping district, you'd be like, that's a syntax error. I can't run this code, right? But if I also said, out of my favorite cities, Salem, Kaiser, and Albany, Salem has my favorite shopping district, you'd be like, oh, you checked the list of the 3 cities, and you're returning the one that something is true for, right? So these things do loosely correspond to other languages, right? We don't really have for loops in English, or while loops, right? But this is relatively close. What are we doing here? Right, so somewhere I'm returning none. And where am I returning none from? Censor letter. And you need to learn this at some point, so you're learning it now. I'm sorry, it's like not super convenient to learn it at any time. This returns something, and I'm trying to assign word to equal to that, right? But what this means is that sometimes word is none. So when I attempt to censor letter B from my password is flotilla, the letter I try to censor is B, and the thing that I get back is none. And that's because there is no B's in my password is flotilla. Which means this line of code is never true, which means this line of code is never true, which means this returns none. So it is identical to return none. So that is the same. What I want to be doing is if I don't have to censor any letters, I should return the word unaltered. And this successfully censors some things. I'm not sure if this is censoring what it's supposed to be, but it's getting rid of the A's, which that sort of makes sense, because there's an A in flotilla. And we can also change the secret in the word and see if we mean that. So I'm just changing the order, and then that will change what we're censoring. This is not super well censored because there are many L's and A's in blah, 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 and there are also L's and A's in flotilla. So because I'm censoring the first instance, as soon as I see one instance of letter, I censor it. I'm not actually censoring the last LLA in flotilla. We see that? So what you probably want to do is you want to word equals redact word secret, and then you want to say word equals censor word secret. And you do this in sequence. And then you're going to look at word. And let's get rid of a bunch of these print statements. Okay. Where else am I printing? This is why you should use the debug print, but that's fine. Okay. So I'm seeing none. I'm still printing a letter somewhere. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. Let's print word. There we go. We're getting rid of... Wait, did I break redact? Does this code still work? Word secret. That looks broken to me. Where's the Y coming? Oh, the Y is coming from my screen not being wide enough. See that? Okay. My password is flotilla. What's happening here? Sensor is not returning anything. Return word. There we go. And I think this is too long. Oh, right, there's supposed to be an octothorpe in here. Word equals redact word secret. And then, oh, I have secret and word backwards. Okay, so we're going to change the order of these. Secret and word. And there we go. Now we're redacting additional vowels, basically. And these are the A's from blah blah and the I's from flotilla. This might feel familiar to Wordle for you. I don't know. If you're stuck on Wordle, you should follow these slides and you should figure out what they mean. And you should do all of the stuff from the lecture that I'm still annoyed you haven't watched. Okay. That's my aside on Wordle. Does anyone want to ask me anything on Wordle? The code is on here. This is basically identical to what I just live coded. Or should I start Piggle? Do we love Pigglies Wigglies? I really think my class should be sponsored by the Salem Downtown Business District and Piggly Wiggly. I don't know why it's so hard to get a sponsorship for a class, right? Okay.
It might be because there isn't a Salem Downtown District. Piggly Wiggly.
No!
That would make it hard.
So what you're saying is we have an ingenious business plan. The good people of Salem, they deserve a Piggly Wiggly.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've never been to a Piggly Wiggly, so I don't know. I don't know what makes someone deserve a Piggly Wiggly.
This is what was supposed to happen.
Why is there a tiny blue dot in the
I thought we set it to like 1280 by 720 or something like that.
Oh, well, this is just from the slides.
Oh.
Yeah. So the tiny blue dot, so artistically that represents the Earth in the vast sea of the cosmos. It also represents the fact that these are both set to 0. We trash can. Boom! Now the Earth is much closer to us, right? But we're still viewing it at a very strange angle.
It's a square.
Okay, fine, all right. Everyone's a critic. My beautiful artistic vision. I call it Earthrise, because it's rising above the horizon.
Whoa.
Yes, and its subtitle is The Pale Blue Dot. Do you think I can say pale blue? I bet I can say light blue.
You need underscores? Oh. Do you usually need underscores for colors?
Only one way to find out. It's time for some science.
I
Doesn't
think
matter.
it works with spaces too.
Does it work with spaces too?
Whoa.
Does it work? All right, can I can put some adjectives here, but not all of them. There's dark blue.
Royal blue.
With spelled like Casino Royale, right?
No.
Royal blue. Yep. Anyone have any other favorite blues? I'm assuming pale doesn't work. Yeah, that's fake. That's illegal. They're trying to take me to jail, right? Sky. Yeah. Oh! What was that? What was that? Syntax error? Oh, okay. All right. Not to worry. Okay. There's sky blue. That looks an awful lot like light blue. I'm just saying.
No, it's different.
Some could say that
Well,
it
you
looks
can
like
print one of each to see how different they are.
How would I do that?
Make a second rectangle.
Okay, I'm making ovals.
Oh.
So first of all, how dare
Make a
you?
rectangle next to the oval.
I'm gonna make a rectangle next to the blah, 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 blah. And I can call it. Okay, I'm gonna do something extremely
We
degenerate.
call the rectangle
Oval.
rectangle.
Oh my god.
The great thing about computers is often you shouldn't, but you can. Oh, I should put them not in the same place, right?
That would be smart, right?
Would it be
They'll look
smart?
different. They'll like overlap. You'll see the corners.
If I put a rectangle on top of an oval, it'll cover it. Yeah. Which blue did we request?
Light.
You're saying light.
I don't trust. I'm trash canning.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Am I... Chat, am I cooked?
Yes.
No, I forgot the GW ad. It's right here. Okay, there's there's one line different and it doesn't work. Okay, GW.addOval. Chat, I was not cooked. You're cooked. Chat is cooked.
They're just
Slightly
different.
different.
They're just a little.
So what you're saying is we should put them even closer together so we can see them better?
Yeah.
Why don't we just make them bigger?
I like this idea.
We're gonna embiggenify.
If they overlap a little bit, it might help.
So what you're saying is they should overlap a little bit and that might help?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start this one at 0, 0 and make it 100 by 100. We're gonna start this one at 50, 50 and make it 100 by 100. That's called geometry, look it up. Has a Wikipedia page.
Whoa.
It's starting to look rather artistic.
Wait, do you have a Wikipedia?
Yeah, it's like rather modern.
I think not unless you make one. I made one for myself once and it got removed.
No.
They're like, this doesn't seem about a noteworthy individual. And I was like, that's right.
Is your Wikipedia editor username also your name, and then?
Of course
see
not.
that-
It's definitely not Calvin.
You have a keywiki.org.
Oh, I have a KeyWiki? I'm not going to open that in front of class if that's okay with you. It actually kind of low-key seems like y'all understand PGL pretty well. Okay. So let's review some things, right? We already did these, right? You all understand this? That clock is completely psyching me out. I have 5 minutes more than I thought. Oh, should we do we should do a mental break.
Yes.
Yeah, what am I thinking? No, people tell me all the time that the kids these days can't focus for 1 hour. And I'm like, yeah, it's the kids. Okay. I get my first 2 guesses. Who wants to go third? Sorry, second. Tooth. Because this is guess 0 and this is guess 1.
Right.
Array.
I'll type in array. Is that your final answer, or would you like to phone a friend?
Phone a friend.
Okay. Sorry?
Carry.
Terry?
Carry.
Carrie?
Dan.
We want to do double R's?
Or like,
What about Cardi?
Harley.
What about... I don't know if either of those count. Are they? Yeah! Cardi B! Okay, all right. This doesn't tell us if there's a B in there, though, which is... They should just tell you.
they should,
It's dishonorable that something from New York.
Bandy. No, these not.
Dally.
Yeah.
Oh, I can? No, I already used 2 of my guesses. Someone else has to guess something.
That'd be.
I want to guess Dallas.
Can you sign this consent form that says you're not under duress? Okay. How do you spell Dally?
With 2 L's and then a Y.
Yes. Okay. Wow, that goes crazy. What a gamer.
Yeah. So I'm just doing it on my
How would you like to spend your gold star? Oh,
Can I
okay.
guess first next time?
You can guess first next time. Okay. All right. So I've told you about Grecht. I've told you about Govel. We know all about Grex and Govels, right? But what about glines? No one's told us about glines, right? How does a gline work? Not to worry. I phoned a friend. My friend is me. I do have other friends, but I asked myself. Okay. Do not put on the course of vowels. I'm my only friend. Okay. We're going to take a line, and it's going to be called gline. From whence should our gline hail?
That's some awfully convenient naming scheme you have there.
What? Liney?
Line being a line.
Fine. What do you want to call it? I'm only doing 4 letters, though.
I like that.
Or would you prefer? Which vowel do you want to lose?
You.
We can just call it Irv. Oh, we can do Kerf. That's fine. Okay. All right. So
Try writing it out in array notation. It might be better.
I live. What are they even doing? Right?
Crazy diagrams. I don't know.
Do you ever think I'm like too mellow as a professor? I never think that either. I wish I could be more mellow. So I'm from Oregon. That's not true. I'm telling lies. I currently live in Oregon. I'm from elsewhere. Okay, and Oregon is in the upper left. So let's select a place in the upper left, right? Yeah, let's do 0, 0. Okay. Though I want to point out you're referring to Oregon as a 0. Do you still want to continue? Do you want to give it like a 7 or something? Because 0, 0 is fine with me.
Yeah, 0, 0.
I mean, you could.
Because I would assume that Washington is 0, 0.
You could do like 0, 7.
We're going to do 0, 7.
That's like this one.
Okay. So from whence I hail is 007, just like Jamothy Bond. James is short for Jamothy. A lot of people don't know that. Yep.
In arrays, it's always.
What are they doing? And so, where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Jamothy Boned? Right? Right. And so where is Jamothy going? Well, because James Bond is a comment on British imperialism, James always goes to the global south, which has a higher vertical coordinate, but it could have any horizontal coordinate, right?
I like arrays.
So I'm going to put a 100,
Okay.
200, 300, and then I think I did 500 by 500. Where within the global south should we place our British imperialism?
Louisiana.
I think that's in the American South. Okay. This is not a comparative politics class, but that is a very interesting hypothesis, right? Like, I saw a very interesting comparative politics study between Mississippi and developing nations. And it's like,
I just thought these funny British imperialism with French and Louis.
yeah, shout out Louis.
Shout out Louis.
Shout out Louis. One of the Lewises. Wait, no, I can't do 300 again. Then we don't know which one's which. Okay. Trash can. Okay. Ooh! We can't see anything. There's a little dot, like right there, maybe?
I forgot to maybe make it so you can see that.
Wait, you think I forgot? What should I do?
Maybe add.
You think I should add the kerf?
Glad.
You want me to glad kerf? Okay. No problem. I am Whoa! What color do we think that is?
Black.
Really?
Weird gray.
I'll take black. Okay. What color do we want it to be?
Green.
Kerf dot set color green.
Try olive drab. See if it has an
Olive
olive drab.
drab.
It's my favorite bar.
I might be able to like set a line width or something. I don't know if that's true. Kerf dot set width. Yeah. Okay. Set line width. Let's go big. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. So we started with art and we ended with quite the opposite, I would say.
Is with the width so big, is the coordinates the center of the line or one edge?
How can you tell?
Huh?
How would you check? So here's what I would think. This is pretty small. I don't know how well you can see this, but portions of the line are going off the grid on both sides.
Oh, okay.
So that means it's almost certain this thing has to be. But there's an even easier way. I need a color. I almost write. Okay, you know, let's try it. I want to know. Wow, illegal color oink. They're gonna send James Bond to so it's centered in some way. Yeah. And to be clear, I had no idea. I checked. So now that kind of looks like bacon with a color filter, right? So I think we're back into artistry.
A very strange road.
A very strange road. Perhaps set. Can I set it dotted?
Quite
Dash?
possibly.
Dot? No. Okay, that seems to be against the law. But I did see one other thing pop up there, which is that remember oval? I think I can send forward, send to front. I wonder what that does. I have no idea. I could only speculate. Oh, by golly! It placed it, one could say, in front of Jamothy Bond's criminal and illegal activities.
Can you put it between other layers?
Yeah, how would I do that?
You can send something else to the front half.
You could send one thing to the back and the other thing.
We got the ovals in the back.
Well, that's the right.
So you can move things to front and back, and you can send them forward and backward, and they just happen to be whatever order you added them in. So that's a little less subtle. But I think probably the interesting thing to do would be to send this forward. And I think if we send the oval forward, it will jump in front of the olive drab line and not in front of the pink line. But do I know that? No. Why would I know that when I can just test it? Oh! As in, it is over the olive, but under the oink. So always remember it's over the olive and under the oink, and then you'll never go wrong.
Got it.
Okay. I think we should repeat after me. Everyone say, over the olive and under the oink.
Over the olive and under the oink.
Okay. Y'all are pros. Okay. The way I was trying to make this relevant to you for Wordle is that some things are vertical and some things are horizontal. How do you find out? No problem. We are going to take this and we're going to put it at 0, 300. And we're going to take this other one and put it at 300, 0. And then I'm going to get rid of everything after that. Oh, I'm in a trash can because I don't know what's going on. Every time I don't know what's happening, I throw things in the trash. Okay. So, the oval, which is not at all confusingly named rectangle, is at position 0, 300. So, that means this is position 0, 300. Why? So we go over 0, and then we go down 300. Right? We all believe that, right? You all believe me? Do you believe me? Okay. There's no one looking up in that entire corner of the room. Yes, I know. Front row, good job. Yes, the front row is always very engaged. Yes, you get letters of recommendation, and then you make more money for the rest of your life, and all you have to do is sit in the front row of the classroom, and everyone knows this and still doesn't sit in the front row. So, mad respect to the people in the back row. Okay. We got the students in the back. Yeah, woo! Okay. Is Lil Nas X still cool, or have we outgrown that?
I think yes. I mean, he assaulted a police officer, so yes. Yeah.
You're not going to trick me into commenting on that. I know you're trying to. Oh, we accidentally have both genders. Okay, so we got Pink at 0, 300. Shout out Pink, banger artist, right? Probably before all of your time. And then we've got light blue up here. Where is that? We walk 300 over. Blue. And then we go 0 down, right? Something else to remark on here. This is as far from here as it is wide. This is 100 by 100, so that means this is 200 over, which means this corner is where the rectangle starts. So the lines are centered, but the shapes are not. Is that mad goofy? PGL fair and balanced, we implement, you decide, right? So I don't know if it's goofy or not. If I were being a goof, I would never acknowledge that. You can ask objects how wide and tall they are. In that way, they're much like the nurse that checked me into urgent care, who was trying to figure out what happened to my ankle. Oval dot get width. I'm going to press trash can. Oh, and it is 100.0. That should seem a little suspicious to you because we told it to be 100 and it turned it into 100.0. You can think about that whatever you want, but I thought that was a little sus. Would I go so far as to say it's sussy? Probably not. I'd just say it's sus, right? We can also, change the color, I guess. I don't know if you want to do that. There's fill and not filled, right? So I think let's just unfill these. Let's set them to be false. Or let's just leave it default. I'm going to set one to false, and I'm going to leave the other one default. Okay, so if you see pink, whatever pink looks like, that's the default way shapes are. And if you see light blue, that's when you specifically tell it not to be full, right? So that's my gas tank during stagflation. Shout out Reagan. Okay. Oh, those are hard to see because they are just outlines, right? That would go kind of crazy, right? Like maybe rect dot set. Ooh, nothing's. Oh, okay, because I didn't type set line width. What do you want it to be? 10. I'm gonna make something a little spicier. I'm gonna say 10.5. We're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if the code explodes, right? And let's do it down here. What did I just type? We'll do 15.7.
Wait, shouldn't it be oval for the other one? Is that what-
Yes, that's why this one is still faded. It kind of seems like you already know how to do this. Oh, it's kind of giving art again. Is this? I wouldn't go so far as to say it's art maxing, but it's kind of giving art.
Add the line back in.
It's like so close to the PlayStation.
So what you would say is you're a linebacker? Okay, fine. Let's put in kerf, which is gline. And I think we did. I'm going to do 50, 50, 250, 250. Nah, that's fine. I'm going to do kerf dot set color. Can I please do something other than olive drab? I had pink last time. That was allowed. Light pink.
Do hot.
I'm pretty sure hot pink works. We're gonna find out. Set kerf dot set line. No. Set line width. 25. I meant okay. Glad kerf. Oh, line width must be a number. Wait, what did I put in there? It's in quotes! Chad, I'm cooked.
This is good.
This is giving like third grade math.
In a way, have we ever left third grade math?
Yes.
No, I'm still adding.
Still adding fractions. Speaking of adding fractions. Ugh. Kinda feels like some of my haters are on the loose.
Would that
But-
still be 25 though? Because 25 divided by 2 plus 25 divided by 2 is 25.
But it's 25.0 instead. Look how annoying this is. Yeah, I can just run this. It's 25.0 because these become 12.5s. But it gets worse. This is 24. But not point anything. And that's why computer science is fun and easy. Okay. Last thing, here's my demo. The internet says the kids these days love emojis. And it's true that article was from 2017 and was referring to people that now, like, have multiple children and are $600,000 upside down on houses they bought during the pandemic, which we're not at all worried about that. That'll probably be fine. In fact, forget I mentioned it. But I'm going to create a window that is 400 by 400, but I'm going to do it in the most holy of tongues, JavaScript, which is the language that is running on these slides. So it's going to appear right here. Look, it's a Gwindo. See? Do you see the Gwindo?
Yeah.
And what does Gwindo stand for?
Graphics window.
Graphics window. Now I'm going to create a head, which is going to be a Goval. I'm going to set its fill color to yellow, because am I going to tangle with the political question of what color emoji should be in this class? No, I'm just going to tease that, right? I'm just going to bring it up. I'm going to say, why are we Simpsons, Maxine? And it's because Portland's right down the road, right? Okay, so let's add a head. Okay, and this is how you get a head in life. Okay, all right. Never mind. Now, I don't really know anything about third grade, seeing as that was before I was forming memories. But if I had to guess, I think this thing is 110 down, which is a little more than a quarter, and then 100 over, and then it's going to be 40 by 40. So I think there's probably going to be a right around here. It's a little bit suspicious that I'm not setting a fill color, so this is going to be whatever the default color is, probably, which apparently is black, right? And then these numbers, these last three numbers, are the same for lie, which is what you should do on the internet, right? But it's over further. It's over a little more than 2. So this is 400 by 400, so that's a little more than half, so it's going to be like around here, right? I already added rye. Let's add lie. There it is. There's lie. Okay? And then this is like off the slides. You might be able to see it on your screen, but we can I? It's gone. Okay. Anyways, the mouth is somewhere. And this is how I feel right now. Okay. I hope you all had fun today. It was maybe slightly less hinged than normal.